And
what do you mean there was a tear? Like on the official page?
No, on one of the
on just one of the stamp pages, yeah.
And that's a problem?
Officially, it is deemed
damaged
and null and void.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because they stamped it and were handing it back and like saw the tear. And then they were very like, you know.
I want everybody to understand this too because I'm still like a little freaked out. Today, friends, we are chatting with Nick Viall here on Heel Squad. Of course, you probably know him from his Bachelor days. He's an award-winning entertainment podcast host, best-selling author, and TV personality. His weekly multi-episode podcast, The Viall Files, has amassed over 250 million downloads, and his beautiful wife and podcast co-host, Natalie Joy, content creator, new mom, whose quick wit and relatability combined with her sense of fashion and beauty has made her a fast-rising star on the show. We dive into the smallest things in this episode that could ruin your next vacation without you even realizing it, like a tear in your passport. We're going to get into it, guys. You're going to want to watch this just for that, if anything. Tips we've learned about working together as a couple and as a team and as new parents, and why we decided we're starting a homeschool pod for our girls. It's going to be a good one, Heel Squad. Welcome. I think this is our first time in studio together. I think we've done everything via Zoom.
Yeah, well, I don't know if Natalie's ever done anything with you.
We've never done anything, you're right.
Yeah. We've just chatted in World Market and at Ed Sheeran. That's all we have done together.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and since World Market, you guys are parents and life has really changed.
It really has.
I'm a parent. I don't think I was a parent when I saw you guys either.
No, you weren't.
I was about to be,
I think maybe you just were, or you found out you were pregnant or something?
I think we might have been close.
Yeah, maybe.
We were close because
I can tell you it was January. It was December of it was right before Christmas 2022.
Yeah, she wasn't born until 23.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, I'm not crazy here. Because if she was with us, she would have been with us at World Market. Because we like taking her on those little like store runs. Are you guys doing the same kind of thing?
We take her everywhere.
Yeah. I was, for a while, I was scared to like go anywhere by myself with her.
Of course.
And then
it's a lot.
And I didn't know, like, do you put the car seat in the stroller? I couldn't figure it out. And then I was too overwhelmed. And then she got to the point where now she can like sit on the hip. And so now I hold her and push the buggy. So
okay.
It works out.
The car seat thing, did you do the Doona?
We have the Doona.
Best thing that ever happened to life, right?
Yeah.
Isn't it so funny before your parents, people tell you, oh my God, you have to have this. And it sounds like stuff in outer space. You're like, what the frick is that? I don't know. And what are they talking about? And then you have it and you're like, then you become that person that's telling everyone, you need this. It will change your life.
Did you try using it before you read the instructions?
I don't do instructions, Nick.
Neither do I. But
not one of my
things. You have to when it comes to, did someone show you how to do it or do you figure it out on your own?
I had someone show me how to do it. My best friend and neighbor came over when Athena was like maybe a week away from, being born. And I was like, guys, I have all this stuff. I don't know how to do it. And I'm not an instructions person. And it's going to take me forever. I didn't do a baby shower. I didn't do any of this shit. Please just come help me. So I ordered pizza. We had some wine and a couple friends came over and they helped me assemble everything because a mom knows.
We waited till after she was born.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
And actually we waited until we needed to use it.
Yeah.
Which I don't recommend.
Funny enough, I think Kevin actually was the one who assembled the Doona in the hotel room in Milwaukee.
Did he lose his mind?
No, he's so good. That's Kevin's jam. Kevin's very into like organization and all of that. As much as he's a creative, which is funny, he's good at that.
What were you guys doing in Milwaukee?
That's where she was born. Yeah, we had a surrogate. And so she was born in Milwaukie.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Where Nick's from.
Yeah. So
She said, great, we love that for her.
Exactly. So
what was that process like?
It was unbelievable. We had the greatest surrogate and family. So now they're just our family. And honestly, if like something was to happen to us, I would want them to take her because they're that amazing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They were really, really special people. So we've remained very, very close. And I don't think a day goes by where we're not texting pictures and sharing and stuff.
Oh,
so
that's sweet.
it
Was
a
that like
really
through a
nice thing.
service?
Yeah, there's an agency always involved. And then there was a woman named Stephanie Levitt. She's like a little boutique agent who helps you find people faster than the agencies, but you still have to work through the agencies. So she found her for me in one day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which is a big deal.
We've always been fascinated by it.
Why? Are you thinking of doing it that way maybe another time?
Well, I think Natalie has a desire. Well, I mean, but Natalie talks about having more and more kids.
Like a lot more.
I think probably, yeah.
Like 3 more?
Probably 3 more.
Okay.
Yeah. I think there would be like an immediate 2 and then maybe a 4th,
Okay.
like a surprise, you know.
Okay.
But
Was your birth easy?
it was a dream. Like if I could relive delivery every day, I would.
Wow.
It was beautiful. It was amazing. It was pain-free. It was fast. It was like the energy in there was
that
crazy.
epidural.
The epidural, yeah, it's definitely. But
Did you watch?
I mean, I was there.
But like, were you like right down in there watching? No. Okay.
No. I was up front. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was there for emotional support. I wasn't there to spectate.
Wow.
There are people who knew how to deliver a baby. I didn't need to.
Okay. But did you hold her right away?
Yeah.
Yeah.
they at Cedars, which I really loved, is that they do an hour of skin to skin right after. And what was the other thing that everyone was saying you need to do? And Cedars was like, oh, we do that.
I think it was just skin to skin. I thought it was skin to skin.
Felt like it was something else. But yeah, so they, as soon as she was born, they took her and like cleaned out her mouth and nose and everything. And then
She was crying, and I went over to her, and she stopped crying.
she
That
was
was
like
kinda cute.
screaming on the table, and Nick comes over and starts talking to her, and she's like, and looks over at him. It was so sweet.
Isn't it the most magical thing ever?
Were you there?
Oh yeah. I grabbed her.
It's like the rush, the
Yeah.
energy in there is just unbelievable.
They're like, we're ready, and I'm like, and like I had like my little sports bra and my like white like button down shirt ready, and I'm like, they just like give her to me, and I'm like, whoop, scooped her like a football, and then I was pulling back because I just instantly wanted to go, like just
All right, bye.
I didn't know what to do, and the umbilical cord was too short, and they're like, no, get closer. So then I had to kind of like get right in there and like, okay, got her.
So you
okay.
kind of delivered her.
I mean, in a sense, like, I mean, it was just like a quick hike over.
That's cool.
It was really amazing. And then Kevin's just sitting there, like, looking just...
Yeah.
It was...
I got induced, and so it was like a full 24 hours until she was actually born. But for a long time, I sat at like 4.5 centimeters, and it was just so, every time they'd come in to check, they'd be like, you're still at 4, and it was very like emotionally draining. You're just so excited, and it's like, not yet, keep waiting. And then they came in to check one more time, and they were like, you're at 10, you're ready to go. And it was like, we just both looked at each other and started
Yeah, it happened
sobbing.
fast. And then like she was here like 30 minutes later. Only because they had to wait for the doctor.
That's so amazing. I love hearing a good experience. So if you had such a good experience, are you thinking because you have so many in mind that you might have to use a surrogate at some point because it's just going to be too much for you?
I don't know. I mean, I think we just were throwing around all of the other ideas. I would also love adoption. Like, I would love to foster. I would love to just be in every sort of process. So I think we've just talked about like what it would be like. And so it's amazing to hear you have such a great experience with it, because I was like, well, I carried my first. Like, will I feel as connected to the second if I don't care? It's like you don't ever know. But if you say it's been so amazing, like,
There were definitely a couple months when she was throwing up a lot. So she was like, I'm never fucking doing this again.
yeah, I think that's where the conversation started, when I was like, I will never do this.
Well, and I'm sure you're probably thinking like, hey, if I did it, I could throw 2 in and like get twins and get ahead of the curve. And
Yeah, I mean, it's a very fascinating process, and obviously we're lucky enough to even be able to consider something like that. But it's fascinating because it's a long 9 months for her, even for me. I didn't do anything, but
It's a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
wow.
crazy.
Okay, and now what's it like? Are you guys just madly in love?
Truly.
It's been great. I love everything about it. Yeah, I mean, I've been wanting to be a dad forever. So, yeah, but, I mean, it's been our whole life, you know, which is fun. We really enjoy it. We take her everywhere. We're very lucky to have her mom, who's retired and single, dating, but
Okay.
available to help. And River's her first granddaughter, so she's very excited to help out. So we fly her out. I mean, she was here for the delivery. She was here for like the first 6 weeks and was very helpful. And she's here right now. And then we have my parents in Wisconsin, so we're very lucky to have a lot of help. But yeah, we try to take her. I mean, I think River's been on I don't know how many plane rides at this point. She's only
Really?
7 months old. But yeah, we just enjoy being around her, and we're lucky enough to have, to bring help along to make it a little easier, and it's been the best.
I don't know how people did it or do it without help.
I mean, when they say it takes a village, it truly takes a village.
Yeah.
I mean, to all of the single parents out there without help, I praise them because it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think about my mom. I'm like, my dad was like almost dying on the regular with his low blood sugar attacks, having 2 of us at the house, and then, struggling to even, pay for food and everything. How?
I know.
Like, we don't have those issues. Like, we don't have those same stresses. And so I woke up this morning. I was like, okay, Athena's starting to travel with us a lot now. And, I just got home from a trip last night. And I was like, wait, why am I not creating a travel kit for her where everything's in it and it's just grab and go? Yeah. So I have her like plain travel kit, but I didn't have like her toiletries. Like she needs her like soap and her sponge and like all of those things. Maybe not the sponge. I guess I could use a hotel towel, but you know what I'm saying.
But it's so fun also, all of the little stuff that you find and love for. Like, I have so much fun going and shopping for her. I prefer to shop for her than myself nowadays.
Yeah, me too.
It's so fun.
It really is so much fun.
But it's now she's like in a stage where her personality's starting to come out. She like knows who we are. She gets excited when we come into the room, and it's just so. I feel like everyone says like it gets better and better, and it really does.
Yeah, I was FaceTiming Kevin today with her, and he's looking at her, and he's like, "You don't remember me," because he's been gone for a couple days, and she's looking at him, and she's looking at him. I go, in Greek, I go, "Give Daddy a kiss," and she goes, and I'm like, oh. And when she did it the first time without a cue, like a week ago, without any cue, she just saw him, and she goes, "Dada." Nah. And
That's
I'm like,
cute. Are you speaking Greek to her mostly?
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so my dad and I speak Greek. Everyone else speaks Spanish. Kevin throws in some Spanish, but mostly English. So
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're trying to keep the languages going.
We're
in the
gonna
house.
have to put River on like Duolingo or something.
Yeah. So
Rosetta
now,
Stone.
are you guys socializing her? What are you guys doing at this point? Anything? Are you guys doing swim classes? I heard people swim class at 6 months. I'm like, geez.
No, we haven't done that. We definitely, I always kind of joke that we're like in the young parent market, because a lot of we have a ton of friends in LA, but it's LA, so it's different than like having your community, at least as I think single people or people without kids. And a lot of our friends are, don't have kids.
Yeah.
And we're homebodies, so we do enjoy staying home and being with each other, and we don't need to get out, but I don't want River or any other children that we have to be, kind of weird.
Well, stuck to what you like, right? Like we like being home or the same way, but she loves going out. She loves people. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you'll see like as she gets a little older, so we're at 14 months now. When you bring her around like a little older kids, oh my gosh, like my friend has a 2-year-old or 3-year-old, and they're in the playroom playing, and I want to die. It's the cutest thing ever. So.
I mean, we are starting music classes in September. So
no way.
That. Yeah, we'll do that every Friday.
What's that? I want to do that.
It's a mom in the Valley. She owns a like vintage Levi, tailors them to your body shop, and I went in there one time and we started talking. She was like, oh my gosh, I have a daughter a little bit older than yours, and we started going back and forth, and she's like, do you have any friends? I'm like, not really. And she's like, me either. It's so hard to find like moms with kids the same age. And then she was like, we're gonna start a music class at my house every Friday at 10 a.m. Like,
It's very official.
yeah, very official.
Awesome.
There's like a teacher. And,
No way.
Yeah, so we'll see how River enjoys that.
You'll
but
have to
that'll be
tell
our
me,
first.
because
will.
I would love to do that.
will.
Athena's in her vocal mode.
Yeah.
So she's like, aye. We're on the plane, and she's a really good traveler, but on this last flight home from Frankfurt, right when like it became like apparent it was breakfast time, the shades are going up, everyone had been sleeping, it was an overnight flight. The shades go up and she's like, aye. And before anybody could like do anything, I get up, I go, she's saying good morning, everyone. Because I feel like you have to take the power on these planes.
do.
Otherwise, people are going to like try to make you feel bad. And I'm like, no, if she's happy and giggling, you have nothing to complain about. Enjoy those sounds. If she's crying, I get it. But
Right.
there's still nothing I can do.
So far, most people have embraced her.
It's really
Yeah.
sweet how like we'll be on a plane and it's usually older men, so like you can tell like men with grandkids or something like that, and they just will sit behind and wave at her and smile at her.
Yeah,
And
she definitely likes looking
she'll
at
get
strange.
happy.
She's River's in her like everything's new. She's observing everything for the first time, and so she likes to new people or new things, and she likes to make eye contact with and smile. She's a very smiley baby, so yeah, strangers like
Athena
to.
loves boys already.
Okay.
We're in the airport in Mykonos, and I'm walking her, and she went right to this crowd of boys, and I'm like, oh my God, she was obsessed with them. Wherever she sees a man, she's like obsessed. I'm like, oh no.
That's fascinating.
So scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, she's very, very, very much so. But how do you feel like this has changed you guys? Because I know for me, it's changed us so much and our kind of whole outlook on how we're going to tackle life.
I mean, I think we're much more of a team than we've ever been. I think it was really hard for me in the beginning to, I feel like I carried her for 9 months. Like, I know her. I know everything about her. Like, and it was kind of hard for me for a moment to like let Nick have her. And then I just came to the realization that like I trust his instincts and he loves her just as much as I do. And so very quickly it became like, we are partners, we're a team, and now everything about her is like, do you think we should like give her another bottle? Do you think we should bathe her right now? And we just communicate about everything and we agree on stuff. And so I think it's definitely made us more of a team.
Yeah, I mean, also just stress. She helps with that for me. It's like even when we're traveling. I mean, we had a bit of a hiccup for our first honeymoon, and like when you were traveling.
You went on 2 honeymoons?
We tried.
We tried.
Okay. Okay. Do tell. Where was the first one?
It was meant to be in Turks and Kos, but and it was just like we brought Natalie's mom to help out because obviously we wanted to have some quality time.
Yep.
So we had to get River's passport, and then we found out like a week before that Natalie's mom's passport was expired. So she, lives in Auburn, Alabama. So she had to drive 6 hours to go to New Orleans to get it overnight. So we're like making sure all our passports are lined up, not looking at our passports, and then we get to the border of Turks and Kos, and Natalie has a tear in one of her pages. And the Turks and Kos people are lovely and kind and nice, and they do like their rules. And
What do you mean there was a tear? Like on the official page?
No, on one of the like,
on just one of the stamp
ones.
pages, yeah.
And that's a problem?
Officially, it is deemed
Damaged.
and
No.
null and void.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, well, it's funny because they stamped it and were handing it back and like saw the tear. And then they were very like,
I want everybody to understand this too, because I'm still like a little freaked out. If you have on any one of your pages in your passport book, if it's ripped,
Everything
they can
has
reject
to be
it.
intact.
Yes. They can reject it.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
I mean, and I don't know if you heard, but
now
like,
I'm going to be so careful. I just jam shit in there
well,
sometimes.
because like on our way to Turks and Kos, I mean, I think this story has been kind of finalized, but recently there had been several American men arrested because the Turks and Caicos like border patrol or found hunting ammunition in their like carry-on. So like for every bullet, which is a round, is like, so there were like 2 or 3 men facing like life in prison, or like maybe not. It was several years in prison. The American embassy had to come in and
for carrying bullets with them.
Yeah, and they have some very strict rules when it comes to ammunition. So we're on our way to Turks and Caicos. All our friends are like, "Well, just be careful. Make sure you don't have any, bullets." I don't hunt, so I wasn't really, or I don't own any guns, so I wasn't worried about that. But they are very diligent at the border, very kind.
And then you just couldn't go in.
So they, they
It was a
basically
nightmare.
were like, you need to get on the next flight. We're putting you on the next flight
Home.
out of here. Yeah. And they were like, it's today at 2 p.m. And we had just landed at 12.
With a baby.
With a baby.
And she was 3 months.
She was 3 months old.
Yeah.
And they were like, the next flight's at 2 p.m. And so they take us
to like a holding room?
No, they take us to like the check-in or whatever. And there's...
Have you ever been to the Turks and Caicos airport?
I have, yeah.
It's small,
yeah,
right?
And loud, and there's no AC, and there's like 10 seats.
And it's either like empty or overpacked, right? And it was overpacked. And then, but the flight that we were meant to go on ended up getting canceled because the pilots timed out.
Because it was delayed. We were there for 6 hours.
It was actually a blessing though, because then they were like, they made an exception for us.
Did you have enough formula?
I was breastfeeding,
you're breastfeeding
at the time,
still.
but they were like, I would go to breastfeed her in the restroom, and I'd come out, and there would be like they were following me, like they would not let me go anywhere alone.
You're a criminal.
Like I was a full-on criminal. It was really scary to have
like,
a
you can't go
3-month-old
in.
baby. It was very scary, just because we didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah, you never know.
And she was incredibly overstimulated and screaming, crying, and like there was nothing. It was just very hot and.
But minus all that, I mean, the point of us, I think, telling the story was, I think in those situations, you just got married, we're at our honeymoon. It's very easy in those moments to be like, I can't believe this is happening.
Yeah.
Oh, our honeymoon. Like we came off such a high. Our wedding really was great, which I was already nervous about, like, is this going to go off without a hitch? It was wonderful. We had so much fun. And it's just very easy in those moments to let a bad situation get you down. But when you have your 3-month-old daughter, like all you really care about is like making sure she is okay and we are okay. And like it really just puts things into perspective. And so like anytime, thankfully, and that all worked out. And we went back and we ended up going to Puerto Rico a few weeks later and had a great time.
So you just went home. Oh my God, that's so sad.
Yeah, he just went home. It was fine. It really did. And that's the thing, is like when you have your daughter, it's just like as long as we're okay.
Yeah.
And it was the first
Are you never
time,
going to Turks again?
I will never. I will never. But it was the first time that we got to like
All I gotta do is make sure our passport isn't damaged.
husband and wife. And we got to say it a lot because, we're like, oh, well, my husband this and my wife this. And we
Isn't
just
it
got
so
married.
fun?
And so it was like, it really... I think.
I'm a big believer that our best stories later on in life are usually our most difficult times in the present, and so having a child, I think really more than anything, it puts things in perspective. I think it gives you purpose for whatever it is that you're doing. Everything else before, you have a daughter, it's like, you make money and you get to spend it on material things and you get to travel, but it's kind of like, what's the point?
What's the point?
When you have a child, it really gives you understand the point, and everything else is a bonus, and thankfully Natalie and I have had very different childhoods, but we both had a child at a point in our life where we've had a ton of fun. We've been able to lead very selfish lives, be able to have cool experience, and also like we have no plans on stopping fun. Again, we're very lucky and privileged to be in the position that we're in, that we get to, we were in New York last week for work, and we got to take River, and keep living and do things. But it really gives you purpose, I think, more than anything, and it always makes you. It's just very easy sometimes to let a bad situation get worse by just dwelling on it and not just like letting it go. And River allows you to let shit go a lot easier. because you're like, what's the point?
Really good perspective. You can't let it spiral. We were in Frankfurt, and my dad was like, oh, let's take the elevator instead of the escalator that was right there. And I was like, okay. We all get in this glass elevator.
Get stuck.
And then it like went down, but it went down too far, so now it wasn't level with the floor, and so the doors wouldn't open. And they don't believe in air conditioning there either. And so it's hot as hell. We're trapped. We're kind of sardined. And we're ringing the buzzer. And they're like, okay, we're sending someone. And there's like a business class lounge right over to our right. It's all glass, so we can see, and we're waving like, help, help, mayday. And the guy's like, yeah, someone's coming. And so Kevin at first tried to like pry the doors.
Sure.
I go, Kevin, don't do that. If you break them, we're going to be in more trouble. And so he stops, and then I'm starting like about to have a panic attack. I'm getting really, really freaked out. Baby's
That's
in
a
there.
scary situation, stuck in an elevator with a baby.
Very, very hot elevator. And so I start FaceTiming a friend who we're about to see when we got to Greece, and that's distracting me. And then all of a sudden, a guy comes, and he just saunters over, and he looks at us, and he's like, yeah, I'll be back. And he saunters away, and Kevin's like, F this. Puts his hands through, like there was a little opening, puts his hands through the double glass, pries the thing open.
Strong.
And then we're like, run! And so we were running, and the guy over at the business class lounge goes, they got out! And I'm like, we're fugitives. They're going to come get us. What if Kevin broke the elevator? And we're running to the gate, crying, laughing, but so grateful that we're gone and out of there, because we would have missed our connecting flight for sure.
Oh, no.
It was already a tight connection, and it was not going to be okay. Yeah, travel stories are funny. All right, friends, let's take a moment to acknowledge our amazing supporters. Macys, of course, being the biggest because they've been on this ride with us for so long, helping us to be able to create this content for you guys. I don't know about you, but I'm very excited for fall fashion. I almost wore my boots the other day just because I really wanted to. And I'm like, wait, it's still August and 100 degrees here in LA, so maybe I should take a chill pill. But for you guys, I know it's getting a little colder wherever you are, and my favorite fall fashion needs, I have some of them up on my Macys wish list for you already. Some cute jeans or a cute jean jacket, some white sneakers that I know will go with everything this fall for you, that are comfy for all your everyday activities, whether you're going to the grocery store or you're going shopping or whatever it is you're doing. Maybe you're even just walking around Macys. All of those things are there. Plus, with these amazing deals on all of these brands, Macys has finding those amazing fall fashion pieces to transition from summer super easy. So if you guys want to elevate your style for the fall, if you've got a new job you want to look great for, or whatever it is, you just want something new and inspiring for the fall, go to my Macys wishlist using the link inside the podcast description and let me know what you end up with. You also know that Ouai is some of my favorite hair products. I love their leave-in conditioner and their hair oil. I have used it today, although I didn't do a great job on my hair. Today. It's a little bit much. I probably should have used the anti-frizz cream, but I didn't have time to deal with that and just kind of ran out because Athena was keeping me behind schedule today. Didn't want to keep the Vials waiting. So I did use my hair conditioner and my hair oil. One of my favorite hacks is using it on wet hair, of course, on my ends. So friends, if you're eager to elevate your hair care routine, check out Ouai products. Go to theouai.com, TheOuai.com. If you use the promo code HEALSQUAD, you will get 15% off. And if you're not sure what products work for your hair, just take the hair quiz on their website and they'll match product to your hair issues or hair type. Check it out. Guys, how have you adjusted your work life with baby? Are you just integrating, like Tony Robbins says, just integrating?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, Natalie, you know, when we met, she was and is a surgical technician, and when she got pregnant, took some time off. And obviously we're, again, very fortunate to be able to do what we do and
meaning working from home, basically. We're not working out of your studio, but like working your own.
Yeah, running
thing.
my own business. And then obviously with the Viall Files, the show, you know, as we started dating, Natalie would kind of pop in and be on here and there and things like that. And I think Natalie's hilarious, and I think she's honestly a star, and so like the more I'd have her on, the more I enjoyed having her on the show, and the more people enjoyed having her on. So I just kind of encouraged her to come on more and more if she wanted to, and she really enjoyed it. And then again, like obviously with, we were always kind of working around, at the time she was pregnant, and so it was, when she could, or, when she felt up for it, because there were definitely some tough days here and there, but we've really embraced it and enjoyed it. And it's fun to, have it be almost like a family business, it feels like, and we get to do it together and be in the show together. And again, it's, my audience loves listening to her, so that's great. Her doctor's been trying to get her to come back to work. But yeah, she loves being a surgical tech, but obviously we're also very fortunate to do what we do together, and it's a lot of fun, and to feel like we're kind of building, like again, a family business together. I really enjoy it. It's really been a fun experience to do that, and not something we, certainly I never would have planned that Natalie would be like a regular on my show when we first met, that's for sure. But and I really enjoyed, when I met, that Natalie had her own passions and her own stuff, but it's really been fun to work with her and do this together. And I mean, it doesn't even really feel like work. It just, honestly, it feels like, she's been very supportive of me when I like to bounce ideas off of her and things like that. So now it's just more like having her by my side rather than feeling like I'm working with her. And it's been a really fun experience, And again, we're very lucky to have the help that we have and have the team that I have, so that she can still very much be a mom and I can still very much be a dad. But yeah, it's been fun to just kind of integrate our lives together. And so we do everything together. So far, we haven't gotten sick of each other yet. But
how long have you guys been together now?
4 years officially. Yeah.
I think Kevin and I are going on. Can someone do the math here? 1998.
Well, I can tell you, 25 years.
Really long time.
Now I laugh.
And we've literally worked together almost the whole time. I mean, I also was, out and doing my other stuff too, but we've been attached.
It's nice to have. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy having that partnership. I'm always like, something I learned from my parents is like they were always, like I said, they were always a team. My
parents too. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've had a lot of friends, and you see couples where, it's more your mom, your dad, they have their thing, mom has their thing, mom's the mom, it's very much roles, and I just never grew up in that type of environment. And I really enjoy just the partnership that we have, where I like to be as active as a father as I can be, and and I am, and she's a very helpful participant, in the office when she can be, and it's just fun to do it together, And like I said, like last week we were in New York interviewing some of the cast of Love Island. So, we flew out there, brought our daughter, flew in her mom from Alabama, and, again, like traveled and had fun, but also worked as a family, and it was a really great experience.
What do you feel like has made you and Kevin work for so long?
I think we're just best friends. Like we have each other's backs always since go. And we get each other, like I get him, he gets me, he wants the best for me, I want the best for him. Like it's a partnership, it's a team. Like we've always looked at it like a team. Yeah. And we have fun together. He makes me laugh. Like he's always made me laugh, and that's always been, but then I make him laugh, and I'm always so proud when I can make him laugh, because he's like, comedy writer and stuff like that. So if he thinks I'm the funniest fucking person ever, and I'm like, that's hilarious. But just like you think she's hilarious, like that means like the connection's just so there. But yeah, it's been a long journey.
That's a long time.
But it's really nice when you can work together and it does work. I mean, listen, there are times I've been like, oh my gosh, get away. I can't. You're too much. But
Sure.
but those things are going to happen. You're going to have your moments, and then you're going to find your way again. But yeah, it's a whole new kind of perspective on life. Like, I see him and I hear him all the time saying, I have to make this, Athena proof, like a renovation or anything he's doing. I don't want her to ever have to touch this house. I want it to be done for her. Like, we're working on our property in Connecticut. He's like, that's going to be a forever house. I don't want her to ever have to do everything. So it's got to be timeless. Whatever railing you're putting in, it's got to be timeless. Whatever color you're painting it, I don't want her to have to do anything. Like, he's always thinking about her future.
So is that where you eventually will raise her as Connecticut?
I have no idea.
Okay. Because
But the
we
conversations are constant.
I
was just looking at property while I was in Florida. I found an awesome place, actually. And I'm like, but I can't pull the trigger.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot now in terms of like, I was lucky enough to buy back my grandfather's lake house that we lost when he died like 30 years ago, which was really great.
That's cool. Where is that?
It's
in
like,
Wisconsin?
yeah.
Oh, nice.
In central northern Wisconsin. And it's like this, paradise for me. And so, yeah, I want to spend as much time there. And like, obviously I've, my best childhood memories are at this lake house. So it's great, kind of fortuitous that like we found out Natalie was pregnant with River in May, and then found out that I had the opportunity to get this house back in like June.
Wow.
Or like actually a couple weeks later. I mean, we closed at the end of June. So it all kind of happened at once, which was kind of perfect, just because, again, like just knowing that River will have an opportunity to grow up there and things like that. And so, yeah, I mean, then we think about, where do we want her to go to school and things like that. I really quite like LA, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know if this is the place that I want. She grew up in the South, I grew up in the Midwest, and I like a lot of aspects of LA, but I think we both appreciate aspects of our childhoods.
Real home.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up, we never locked our front door, and we'd leave the car running, and it was a safe, and you trusted everyone, and yeah, I here it's like my car has been broken into several times, like in our driveway, and it's like I don't.
Yeah, so
it's scary when you have a baby. It changes even more, because we've had this conversation for a few years, but it just gets worse when you have a baby and you're like so protective. Yeah. But we're gonna homeschool, so you guys can be part of our pod.
Are you?
Yeah. Let us join.
Come be part of the pod.
My younger siblings were homeschooled until high school.
Yeah. I just think it's a little crazy out there.
Yeah.
So it'll be better.
Yeah.
I was trying to buy property in Nashville right now.
Wait, I almost did that too a year ago.
Well, then we were at the lake, and I'm thinking, honestly, it's a really quick flight to New York, and so what if we actually got like
just
a condo in New York?
Yep.
And like moved operations to New York, and then we kind of stay. It's like we're doing a lot of what you're doing. It's like what's the best plan, and again, we're
But then the hard thing is like our work is here. Even though our work is anywhere, you're not bumping into the people.
Yeah, you need to be
that you're bumping into here. And like last night, I got off the plane. I went right to a dinner with some really big executives. That's not going to happen if I'm in Connecticut.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of was telling Natalie, it's just like I need to figure out how to be either in New York, have a place in New York or LA. One of the two major media, being a media company, we need to be in a media market.
Yeah. I mean, Connecticut is right there, but still not, because I'm not going to want to leave. It's like a 60-acre farm. I don't want to leave when I'm there. I just want to be in it.
You bought a 60-acre farm, and then you're like building like a dream, your dream home.
Well, it flooded right before Athena was born, and so it's been under construction for a year and a half.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And so I could have built 2 houses in that time. Probably.
We're very. It seems like a lot of parallels between concerns. And
so until we figure it out, we'll be homeschooling. You guys will be able to join the pod.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, for the time being, we'll be in LA. That's for sure.
Yeah. Until we can't. All right, Hill Squad, we're going to leave it right there for today, but be sure to tune into part 2 of this interview tomorrow to hear more from Nick and Natalie. We're talking the potential cancellation of Blake Lively. Didn't really know what I was getting into with that conversation, but not knowing much, I got to hear some more perspectives, I guess. Mommy shaming. Ooh, definitely felt that. And some of the worst comments they've received on social media, plus how we are all navigating the crazy online world. And will I be on Special Forces soon? Find out tomorrow.
This podcast and all related content published or distributed by or on behalf of Maria Menounos or MariaMenounos.com is for informational purposes only and may include information that is general in nature and that is not specific to you. Any information or opinions expressed or contained herein are not intended to serve as or replace medical advice, nor to diagnose, prescribe, or treat any disease, condition, illness, or injury, and you should consult the healthcare professional of your choice regarding all matters concerning your health, including before beginning any exercise, weight loss, or healthcare program. If you have or suspect you may have a healthcare emergency, please contact a qualified healthcare professional for treatment. Any information or opinions provided by a guest expert or host featured within website or on company's podcast are their own, not those of Maria Menounos or the company. Accordingly, Maria Menounos and the company cannot be responsible for any results or consequences or actions you may take based on information or opinions.